Hi everyone, I'm Rhui Kaida and welcome to my channel. Today is super special because I'm finally sharing something very close to my heart. My very first short boys love story entitled, Yours Only Yours. This is a boys' love story set in a university backdrop, where power, obsession, and unspoken desires collide. It features a possessive, dominant Seme and a story layered with emotional tension, vulnerability, and the kind of romantic resolution that stays with you long after the last line. If you're into BL stories that are intense, mature, and deeply emotional, this one's for you. Let's begin. Yours Only Yours. The first time Noel Castillo entered the gates of St. Vincent University, he was hoping for a quiet life. A fresh start, as cliché as it sounded. After all, transferring in his third year wasn't easy. He had left his hometown and all the shadows that came with it. Now he just wanted to keep his head down, finish his literature degree, and graduate without any drama. Unfortunately, drama had a way of finding him, and in this case, it came in the form of Luca de la Vega. Luca was everything Noel hated. Loud, arrogant, magnetic, tall and broad-shouldered with black hair that always looked artfully messy, a sharp jawline, and eyes so dark they looked like obsidian under the sun. He had a commanding presence, the kind of guy who walked into a room and made people stop breathing. He was also the president of the university's most prestigious fraternity, Alpha Sigma, and the top student in the business program. Everyone wanted a piece of him. And somehow, for some unexplainable reason, he wanted Noel. It started with stares. In the cafeteria. In the hallway. During lectures, they didn't even share. Noel would feel a heavy gaze burning into his side. And when he turned, Luca would be there, arms crossed, leaning against a wall, watching him like a wolf cornering prey. Then came the notes in his locker. You looked cold today. Wear a hoodie next time. Or better, let me warm you up. Don't walk alone at night. My driver's waiting near the English building. Noel ignored them, until Luca cornered him one afternoon in the library, right between the shelves of modern American poetry. You've been pretending I don't exist, Luca said, voice low and firm. That's cute, but it's over. Noel blinked, stunned. Excuse me? I've let you play hard to get for 3 weeks. I'm done waiting. Luca stepped closer, towering over him. You're mine. The words sent a shiver down Noel's spine, half from annoyance, half from something else he didn't want to name. You don't even know me, he whispered. I know enough. Luca reached out and tucked a strand of hair behind Noel's ear. You're quiet, smart. You like your coffee black with too much sugar. You bite your pen when you're nervous. And you've been pretending not to look at me. I haven't, Noel lied. Luca smirked. You have. But that's okay. You don't have to run anymore. Before Noel could protest, Luca leaned in, his lips grazing the shell of Noel's ear, and whispered, Starting today, I'm your boyfriend. Everyone found out the next morning. Photos circulated online, Luca walking hand in hand with Noel across campus. Luca's arm wrapped tightly around his waist in the parking lot. Luca kissing Noel's cheek in front of the lit fountain at dusk. Noel didn't even remember being photographed. He stormed into the Alpha Sigma house after his morning class. What the hell is this? He demanded, phone raised. Luca, lounging on the leather couch in a black button-down and gray slacks, didn't even look fazed. He just patted the space beside him. Come sit. No, we're not dating. You're mine, Luca repeated, eyes darkening. I'm not letting you go. Not now, not ever. That's not how relationships work, Noel snapped. You don't just claim someone. Luca stood up slowly and crossed the room. You think I don't know how to love? You think I'm just playing around? Noel stiffened as Luca cupped his face with both hands. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I don't care if you're scared or confused. I only care that you're mine. His voice lowered. And I will make sure the world knows that. The next day, Luca showed up outside Noel's dorm, a silver necklace in hand. A small tag engraved with just one word, belonging. To remind you who you belong to, he said, fastening it around Noel's neck. For weeks, Noel tried to resist, tried to deny how Luca made his heart race. How the possessiveness in his voice both infuriated and electrified him. How his body responded to every touch, every whispered word of dominance. But Luca was relentless. He walked Noel to class, sat beside him in the library, left roses on his desk during lectures, glared at every guy who tried to talk to him, held his hand under the table, kissed him when no one was watching, and sometimes when everyone was. Noel hated how much he wanted it. "I don't get you," Noel said one night, curled up on Luca's bed. "Why me? You could have anyone." "I don't want anyone," Luca replied. "I want you. You don't even know what I've been through." Luca sat beside him and whispered, "Then tell me." "I'll listen. I'll fight every shadow you have." That night, for the first time, Noel cried in someone's arms. He told Luca everything. About the betrayal that forced him to leave his old university. About the guy who used him, who broke him. About how he stopped believing in love. And Luca just held him, silent, fierce, safe. "I'm not him," Luca whispered. "And I'll never leave." Their relationship was a wildfire. Burning, consuming, unstoppable. Luca wasn't just possessive. He was dominant, commanding. Every touch, every kiss was a claim. Every night spent tangled in bed sheets was a reminder that Noel was no longer alone. "You're mine," Luca would whisper, fingers wrapped tight around Noel's wrists. "Say it," Noel gasped, body trembling under him. "I'm yours." Louder. "I'm yours." "Good boy." Noel didn't know when he started needing it, needing him. The dominance. The way Luca protected him like he was sacred. The way he treated him like something fragile and precious, but also his. It terrified him. Because falling in love meant losing control again. It happened during midterms. Noel was overwhelmed, tired, snapping at everyone. Luca's protectiveness started feeling suffocating. "Stop hovering!" Noel yelled one night when Luca tried to help him study. "You don't own me." Luca froze. The words hung in the air like broken glass. "I'm just trying to take care of you," he said, voice low. "I don't need you to take care of me," Noel snapped. "I need space." Luca stared at him. For once, he didn't argue. Didn't push. He just nodded. "Fine," he said, turning away. "Take all the space you need." And for the first time since they met, he left. No notes, no messages, no roses, just silence. Noel didn't expect the ache, the emptiness. He told himself it was better this way, that he needed to focus, that Luca had been too much. But at night, his hands reached for someone who wasn't there. He missed the notes, the possessive glares, the way Luca whispered his name like it was the only word that mattered. A week passed, then two, and when he finally saw Luca again, he was standing in front of the business building, talking to a girl, smiling. Noel felt something inside him snap. He stormed over, grabbed Luca's wrist and hissed, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Luca raised a brow. "You said you needed space. I didn't mean for you to move on." "I haven't," Luca growled, pulling him close. "I've been going insane, waiting, hoping you'd come back." Noel's chest heaved. "Then stop pretending you're okay. Then stop running." They stared at each other, raw, breathless, and trembling. And then Noel kissed him. Hard, desperate, full of everything he couldn't say. They didn't part after that. Luca returned with twice the fire, twice the dominance. He picked Noel up after every class, kissed him in front of everyone, made sure no guy even looked at him for too long. And Noel no longer fought it. He wore the necklace every day, let Luca hold his hand, slept in his bed more than his own, leaned into the possessiveness that once scared him. Because it wasn't just obsession. It was love, deep, feral, and unwavering. One night, under the stars on the rooftop of the Alpha Sigma house, Luca pressed a small ring into Noel's palm. "Not a proposal," he said softly. "Not yet. Just a promise." Noel looked at him, eyes shining. "A promise of what?" "That no matter how far you run, how scared you get, I'll always find you. I'll always choose you. And you'll always be mine." Noel smiled and slipped the ring onto his finger. "I already am." The rain lashed against the windows, thunder rumbling above the city. Inside the condo, only one thing raged harder, the heat between them. Luca pinned Noel against the wall the moment they stepped in, lips crashing into his with a hunger that left them breathless. Noel moaned into his mouth, clutching Luca's shirt, feeling his knees grow weak from the sheer intensity of the kiss. "You've been teasing me all week." Luca growled against his lips, his voice rough and deep. "Flinching when I touch you, acting innocent in public, but looking at me like you want to be ruined." Noel gasped as Luca's hands grabbed his hips, lifting him effortlessly and pressing him harder into the wall. "I wasn't—" Luca bit his lower lip, sucking it into his mouth before releasing it with a pop. "Don't lie to me, baby. Your body already belongs to me. It's time you remembered who owns your soul, too." He carried Noel to the bed like he weighed nothing, throwing him down gently but with authority. Noel sat up, flushed, breathless, and aching. "Take it off," Luca ordered, voice dark. "Everything." Noel hesitated for a beat, cheeks burning, but the way Luca looked at him, possessive, feral, like a king claiming his crown, made him obey. Slowly, he peeled off his hoodie, then his shirt, revealing pale skin littered with faint marks from Luca's previous kisses. He slid down his jeans, leaving nothing between them. Luca's eyes darkened. "Lie back." Noel did as he was told, his heart racing as Luca unbuttoned his shirt with agonizing slowness, eyes never leaving his. "You're perfect," he murmured, leaning down to kiss every inch of exposed skin. "Mine, all mine." Noel's breath hitched as Luca's mouth traveled down his chest, sucking harshly on his collarbone, then lower, until Noel was writhing beneath him. "Say it," Luca demanded, voice low and thick with arousal. "Who do you belong to?" Noel whimpered, hips arching. You... Luca gripped his thigh hard enough to bruise. Louder. "You! I belong to you, Luca!" Luca growled, satisfied, and finally claimed him fully. Their bodies moved together in frantic rhythm, each thrust a declaration, each gasp a prayer. Luca didn't hold back. He dominated Noel completely, whispering praises and filthy promises into his ear as thunder boomed outside. "You take me so well, like you were made for me. Don't ever hide from me again. I'll ruin you so no one else can ever touch you." And Noel? He clung to Luca like he was drowning in him because he was. In the heat, in the pleasure, in the overwhelming feeling of being wanted, when they finally collapsed together, tangled in sweat-soaked sheets, hearts pounding in sync, Luca kissed the side of Noel's neck and whispered, "I'll keep marking you every night if I have to, just to remind you how I love you so much." Noel, breathless and trembling, smiled. "You don't need to remind me," he whispered. "I'm already yours and I love you too." And that's the end of Yours Only Yours. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very last word. Luca and Noel's story is one that I poured a lot of emotion into, full of intensity, vulnerability, and that kind of love that doesn't ask for permission, only surrender. If their journey touched you even just a little, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a comment, share your thoughts, or simply let me know which part hit you the most. This is just the beginning. There are so many more stories I want to share with you. So if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming BL stories. Once again, I'm Rhui Kaida, and thank you for being part of this beautiful journey. Until next time, stay in love with love. See you in the next story.